Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to do an updated version of the full face of e.l.f. Cosmetics. Recently, e.l.f. Cosmetics have been pumping out a lot of amazing products. They've updated their packaging, they've updated the cult favorites that has been around for a very long time. This full face is going to be a mixture of old products and new products. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. I purchased majority of my e.l.f. products from Kmart. Also, you could purchase e.l.f. products online, specifically from e.l.f. Cosmetics website. And also, I purchased a few from iHerb.com. We are going to start out with the makeup primer. So this is the e.l.f. Luminous makeup primer. I'm actually intrigued with this primer because it said luminous matte. Not entirely sure how that's going to go, but it comes in this squeezy tube, which is amazing. And this one claims to give you a fresh, natural glow. It makes the makeup last for a long time. It also gives moisturization. It brightens and refines the appearance of the skin. Basically, it's like a mixture of a moisturizing primer and a pore minimizing primer. It doesn't have a weird scent to it. It's just a basic primer, I guess. It does feel a little bit thick, and it has that film that gives you like that smoothing effect on your face, but that's actually quite nice. The consistency reminds me of the moisturizing primer from e.l.f. where it's very thick, but then again it gives you like a really nice smooth canvas to work with. My skin looks pretty blurred and pretty moisturized, which I basically prefer these days. You guys know that I have stopped priming my skin for quite some time before applying foundation. I typically just resort to a moisturizer, but this one is a nice touch or a nice hybrid of primer, and it's so affordable. So now for foundation, I'm actually quite excited with this product because I've been wanting to try this for a very long time, but every time I go to Kmart, they only carry about 5, 6, 7 shades, and none of them is my shade match at all. So this is the Flawless Finish foundation, and this is an oil-free with a satin finish. I purchased mine in the shade Linen, which is medium with golden undertone, and the packaging is so cute. It comes in this glass bottle, and it has 20 ml of product, which is a little bit less than your usual foundation, but I mean, it's very affordable. I think this is under $20, so I'm not really mad at it. And also it comes with a pump. It does take quite a while for the product to come out. It's very thick. The shade is actually a lot lighter than the bottle. Like, if you can see, the bottle is a little bit darker, but once you pump it on your hand, it comes off very light. It has a weird scent to it. It's not bad at all. It just smells like a faint florally fresh. I think I'm gonna do that much, and then also I'm going to use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush to blend the foundation. It does have a really thick formula. The color match is actually not that awful now that I'm trying to blend it. I feel like once you blend it into the skin, it kind of matches my skin, but I can tell that it's a little bit light. So this is the thin layer of foundation. So you can see it kind of evened my skin tone, but I could still see a little bit of marks on my face. So I'm going to use a little bit more, and I basically pumped 3 pumps of foundation, so I could see that this foundation is going to be buildable. And I feel like the best way to apply this is using a sponge, but unfortunately I don't have an e.l.f. sponge. I tried to purchase their blending sponge, the one that comes in like a darker pink color, but it is sold out. e.l.f. Cosmetics just brings me back. I remember the very first makeup tools that I purchased were from e.l.f. and back then e.l.f. Cosmetics was so expensive and very rare, and I lived for it. I remember I paid for the black makeup brush set for $80 New Zealand, and obviously when you're a student and you're in high school, it's so expensive. Now that I've built up the coverage, it's actually looking really nice. It does take a while to blend because the formula is very thick. It has a little bit of pull to it, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't glide smoothly like any other cream foundation. If you have dry patches, then I don't think you'll like it, because at the moment I have quite a bit of like dry patches around my chin area because of the acne marks healing, and it's kind of clinging to dough. Now for concealer, this is nothing new. This is the 10-hour Camo concealer, and you guys know that it's such a great concealer. Personally, for me, I have to work my way around it because my under eye tends to get really dry, so I find that I have to be really careful on how much product I put, otherwise it will cake my under eye area. I personally like to blend the concealer with a sponge, but because I don't have it on hand, I'm just gonna blend it with a brush. So I finished up blending the other eye, but I really need a little bit of coverage on my bag area, so I'm going to go with another layer. My only gripe with this concealer is that if you use it on the daily, the packaging gets really messy. The rim of the packaging gets like super clogged with the excess product. And it's such a waste because it's such a good concealer, but then, you know, even if it's affordable, you wouldn't want the product to go to waste. Now that the foundation has settled a little bit on my skin, it looks a little bit better, but I feel like it does look quite heavy on this area right here specifically, and my chin area and my cheek area. It kind of just sits on top of the skin. I think it has something to do with the primer as well, because the primer is a little bit thick and very heavy, that the formula of the two products don't really go together. I should have just gone in with the putty poreless primer, but because the primer is new, I wanted to test it out. This is exciting. I remember using the HD powder. Unfortunately, I did not repurchase that because I remember it gives you the most appalling white cast ever. So recently they came out with the updated version. This is called Halo Glow Setting Powder. They have two shades, and I purchased the shade Light. So this one right here claims that it is weightless texture that gives a dreamy, blurring, soft focus finish created with finely milled synthetic sapphire particles to give your skin a soft glow while helping smooth the appearance of fine lines and blur imperfection. Another thing I love about this is that it has a lock system where if you twist it on the other side, then there's that holes right there where you can disperse the product, and then when you're done you can twist it back up. That way it's not really messy. I wish a lot of loose powder will have that, because honestly loose powder is great for setting your makeup, but oh my god, the amount of mess that it creates is ridiculous as well. I have this fluffy eye blender brush from e.l.f. I've been meaning to purchase this product. I saw Juicy Jess rave about this brush, and I thought I'd pick it up because she loves it for eyeshadow and also just for setting the face. And then I'm going to go with a different brush just to lightly set the rest of the face. Honestly, the foundation doesn't really need a lot of setting because it kind of sets into a soft matte finish, but because it has that sticky feel to it, that I have to set it, and also I have oily skin, so throughout the day it will definitely slip and slide. I love this powder. It doesn't necessarily full on mattifies your skin, but it sets your foundation beautifully. Oh wow, it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel chalky, and it just adds like a nice luminosity to my skin. So this is the Aqua Infused blush and bronzer. I saw this when Nikia Joy included this in her favorite products. It's such an interesting take on a traditional blush and bronzer. This one is Aqua Infused, which is supposedly hydrating on your skin, and it has that cream to powder kind of feel to it. Like if you look at it from the pan, it's powder, but when you touch it, it's a little bit squishy and cold at the same time. It's very faint, but you could definitely build it up. I don't know if you guys can see. So I'm going to use this brush right here that I am so happy that I purchased, because Samantha Ravindo raved so much about this brush right here. It has a lot of longer hairs that will help you pick up the product and disperse it on the skin, especially with cream products. So I purchased 2 of these because I heard that this is getting discontinued, and on the e.l.f. website this was on sale, so I have to purchase 2. I might have to purchase more. So I'm going to start with the bronzer. So this product right here has like the cream feel to it, but it dries down into a powder finish that won't budge, which I think is such a great product, especially for an affordable brand. I wish a lot of brands will come out with different types of formulation. I really do think that e.l.f. did a great job, and I love the fact that they are still keeping their products pretty affordable while coming out with a lot of amazing products. I do know that they've expanded their range. They now have their own skincare range, which is quite nice. I love how it applies on the skin. Like, it's not too much. It's actually building up quite well. It's blending beautifully, and I love the fact that you could apply this on top of the powder. So now I'm going to use the same brush and pick up the blush. Oh, it has a minty smell. Wow, the blush is pigmented. Oh, that's really nice. I think I might have applied a little bit too much. I'm glad that I picked this up. I think they might discontinue this product like any other products that are favorites, but oh my gosh. Another thing to try would have to be their cream blush and cream contour palette. They are great as well. I used to own one, but I have to declare it because I've owned it for so long that I don't want to risk having allergies, because e.l.f. is vegan and cruelty free. Obviously the products, I mean the ingredients that they use are more natural, so the longer you keep it without having to use it, the ingredients can react differently as opposed to newer products. So now I am going to apply the, I think this is called Metallic Flare highlighter, and I got the shade Rose Gold. This one is not the best highlighter, honestly, because it looks so pretty on the pan, but it doesn't really show up that well on the skin. I feel like just like the e.l.f. Beige highlighter, where you have to scrape the top bit to be able to get the pigment, but because it's still affordable, I really don't mind it. So it does take a while to build up, but she's there. So I did not purchase a new eyeshadow palette for this video because I already own this, and I feel like the pigmentation and the blendability is amazing. They have another eyeshadow palette that has a little bit of color to it. I think it's called something like Wonders or 18 Wonders, I'm not too sure, but this one I like. So I am going to use the blender brush that I have. I think I'm going to create a neutral base because I have a different eye product to try. I am going to apply the shade Warm, which is this one right here on my lid. I am going to start right in the crease and slowly work my way up to get a nice blend. This kind of reminds me of the Sigma E40 brush that I own. And then I am going to start blending the shade upwards towards my brow bone with the same brush with no product on. I am going to go and pick up this shade Cold Smooth, put that on the outer V, focusing on here and slowly blending it just under the crease. in circular motion, and then slowly bring it towards the inner part of the eye. I'm going to smoke out the outer V by just blending the shades that we have outwards. And I'm going back to the smooth shade, and then I'm going to go back to the transition shade warm and focus that on the crease area. I'm so excited to share with you these new glitter shadows from e.l.f. I purchased 3 different shades. Look how cute they are. A lot of people are complaining that they're small, but honestly, who finishes an eyeshadow? I personally don't. Oh my god, they are so pigmented. So these are the shades, so Copper Pop, Dirty Martini, and Disco Queen. So I think for today's look, I'm going to go with Copper Pop. I'm going to bust out my flat art brush, which I've been loving to apply any shimmer glitter shadows. So I'm going to pop that straight onto the lid, and then I am going to use the brush to blend it out. The formula dries rather too quick, so you have to work quickly as well. But I feel like once it dries and it's not gonna go anywhere. Oh man, I'm like so excited to really try this, but looking at the formula, it just looks like glitter instead of it looking like an actual metallic shade. So I'm just gonna go back to the shade Smooth and blend the outer V. I might try Disco Queen, and instead of putting that straight onto the lid, I'm going to pick the product up with a brush and maybe pop that on top. Oh, heck yes. I think that worked out a lot better. You have an even application of the shadow as opposed to you just picking it up straight away and popping it onto your lid. I am going to go back to Smooth once again just to blend the edge. And I might apply a little bit of like a shimmer just to mesh this together, because at the moment it is looking a little bit abrupt. And for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna use a little bit of Smooth and pop that on the outer V. And once this shadow dries down, it dries down. So I have a swatch. It completely doesn't go anywhere. Like, I'm trying to rub my fingers quite hard. It's pretty stuck on there. So I'm just gonna quickly fill in my brows. I know I did not do that, but I don't have any new e.l.f. brow product. I'm just gonna use the Precise brow pencil that they have. I have the shade Neutral Brown, so this is just like a basic Precise eyebrow product with a spoolie at the end. And I'm going to fill in my brows or set my brows with the Brow Wow. Don't have any new lip product from e.l.f. I'm just gonna quickly apply my lips with this e.l.f. plumping gloss, and this one is in the shade Mocha Twist. But I do love how luscious it makes your lips. Personally don't like e.l.f. mascaras, that's why I don't buy them, because I don't want to waste my money in buying mascaras that I will end up not liking. So I'm just gonna use the mascara I like. So here is my final makeup look. Overall, my thoughts on e.l.f. Cosmetics product, it's such a hit or miss, but majority of their products are a hit for me. I've never had any reaction with e.l.f. products. That's pretty much it for my updated full face of e.l.f. Cosmetics. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates. I am going to do a more summer-esque natural kind of look using other products that I have from e.l.f. Cosmetics. And yeah, I will catch you on the next one. Bye.